My name is Ingibjörg Sigurdardottir. I'm 21 years old and I come from Iceland and I play for Djurgården's IF. I grew up in the town Grindavík, which has 3,000 people, so it's really small. I grew up with 3 siblings, so we always had a lot of fun at home, a lot of activities, a lot of fun, and Grindavík is really small, so every kid played with each other, we tried every sport, and it was just a really active childhood that I had. And my mom and dad always wanted us to try every sport and try to find what we would really shine in and do good. And so, yeah, it was just always a lot of things to do, and yeah, a really fun childhood. So yeah, I started football when I was around 4 or 5 years old. So I started really young, and we were a couple of kids in my age that would go from kindergarten and move over to the sports house. And we would play all day, and then when we had time off, we would play football just every moment we could find, we would play. So yeah, I played a lot with the boys, and I think that was also a good thing for me because, I mean, they were better most of the time, but at this age nobody really cares if you're a girl or a boy, and that's what I liked so much. And yeah, it was just really a really fun childhood and really fun environment to grow up in. And we always used to make these tournaments, and we would split into teams, and then we would have the tournament over the full summer, and then we just always had so much fun and made something. I mean, in a small town, you don't really have much to do, but yeah, if I think about it now, we always made something to do, and it always related to football or basketball or some sports. It got a bit harder because I noticed that I had more motivation and I wanted bigger things, and early on I really knew that I wanted to do something big with the sport. And so, and of course it was still a problem how few girls in my town were playing. I mean, it was just a small town, so not many girls were playing. And really early on I went to the main team of Grindavík and started playing early in the top division in Iceland. So yeah, it was a challenge, but I knew that I wanted something more, and I wanted more competition because my whole life I had not really had any competition. I was always one of the best players, and which it was good in a way, but then of course you want more and you want competition, and you know, I think it was when I started going with the national team that I noticed, like, okay, if I want to keep being at their level, I have to get better and I have to start growing more. And that's when I was also contacted from Breiðablik, and that was really exciting for me. It was a big club that had a lot of national team players that have grown up in this club, and it was a big honor for me that they were interested in having me. And at that time I had some other options to go to a bigger team, but they have a really good facility, really good academy, so it was a really exciting time for me. But it was really hard because I loved my club so much at home, and it was my hometown, and it was a really hard move, and people were not happy about it, and I get it. I mean, a big club was taking one of the most promising players to their side, and they had full of promising players. So, and I think, I mean, still today, even all these years after, I still feel in my heart like, oh, like that was a really tough time. But after that, as soon as I moved, I realized it was the right decision. So, and yeah, it was a really, it was good and bad at the same time. So, but really exciting times ahead at that time. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the biggest reasons why I moved to Breiðablik and a bigger club was because I really wanted to go to the national team when I was older. And then I knew that I had to be playing with better players just to keep at the same place as them and be better than them. So yeah, I learned a lot in Breiðablik. I trained so much. it was probably ridiculous how much I trained. At that time I also moved away from my mom and dad. So I was living with my sister in the city, and so the only thing I did was train and go to school. So, and then, yeah, my goal was always to go to the national team. I've always been the kind of person to write down my goals and have like really specific times when I want to do it, but then to have backup plans. And plan was always to go to America for the university, because I didn't really see that I was going to reach my goal of making it to the national team at the right time. So I was like, okay, I just have to take another way, and I'll just have to do it a different way, and my time is maybe not now. But then I was watching the World Cup, and I saw these girls playing, and they were the same age as me, and they were playing at the World Cup, and I got so motivated by it. I was like, wait, like they're there, why can't I be there? I know I can be there if they can do it. And that was really like a turning point for me, because I knew the Euros were 2 years away, and I was not playing in Breiðablik. I was just on the bench, and I was playing with the younger team, and so yeah, I worked my ass off those 2 years. And I remember I was so nervous telling my mom and dad that I was gonna do this, because I was so afraid of their reaction. Because there had been moments before that I told them my goals and they got really nervous, because they were like, okay, I mean, it's good to set goals, but yeah, I told them like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to America to play, I'm gonna go to the national team, and I'm gonna go to the Euros in 2 years. And they were like, oh, okay, I mean, yeah, I think you can do it, we believe in you, but you know, it's a big step, but it was a really big mission that I had, and I was so fixated on that mission. I was like, no, I'm gonna get there, and at times it didn't look like I was going, because the year after I made this goal, I didn't play much in Breiðablik. I was on the bench and I didn't have a good year. But then I don't know, I got a chance when some players had left for a university in America, so I got a chance to play with Breiðablik, and I had a good season. We went to the Champions League. I played some good games in the Champions League, and I got invited to some national team trainings, but then I wasn't picked after that for a few months. And then I just decided to email the coach and ask what I could do better, what I had to do to reach my goal and make it to the national team. And yeah, and then I went to the Euros, and yeah, it was a really big turning point for me, those 2 years. And also for me to just realize that, I mean, it's always this cliche, like, yeah, if you work hard, you're gonna reach your goals. But then I was working hard for so long, but I wasn't at the same place as I wanted to. But then those 2 years, I was so motivated, and that I didn't know that just being so motivated could make you go so far. And yeah, it was a really big 2 years for me. And yeah, that's when Joel, I got in contact with Joel, and we met in Florence in Italy by really the biggest coincidence I've ever experienced. And that was really like, I was really into what he was saying and what he wanted for the team and the style of play he wanted. And it was things that I needed to develop in my game. He wanted to play football, he wanted to not just kick it long all the time, and that's kind of what I needed more, because I'm really confident with my long balls and doing that is my strength, but that was something I needed to get better at, to play the ball more. And it was just, everything felt really right coming here, and of course it's really important to have a coach that you can like really, you see, yeah, he has some really good thoughts behind it, and he is willing to make me also a better player, because I wanna go as far as I can. And So he said it was really important to develop my game too, and that was also important for me. Moving here to Sweden and to Stockholm, it was a big step, but I felt as soon as I came here that it was the right thing, and I came here into this group that we had last year, it has some really good, strong players, and on training it was really good and really a lot of energy, a lot of high tempo, and it was exactly what I needed. And we started out really good, and the preseason went good, and just the group was feeling really confident. But then, of course, there are things that you can't really control when injuries happen, and then it really, just getting into a position that you hadn't imagined before the season. We wanted really big things last year, and I think it was right of us to make those goals, and we wanted to be in the higher part of the league and compete against the best teams. So we had a pretty good start, but then of course the injuries came in, and it was hard. It was a hard season for the group, but I think we still showed that we are a good football team, and the group stuck together really well, and then we were lucky to get some good players also in the summer, and it was really tough on the group, but I think it really grew stronger, getting into all these just fighting for our lives to stay in the league, and it was a position that no one wanted before the season, but I really feel that now we are all so motivated, and we want to do much bigger things, because we know that we could have done it last year, but it just didn't. I feel like it wasn't meant to happen at that time. And the players that stayed here is a really good core of the team, and we stick really well together. So, and of course, getting now better players, it's going to be great. Yeah.